Hypothetical question. What monster would you choose to be if you were going to be attending a high school full of monsters? Full explanation and caveats by the end, as we have another episode of Hypothetical Questions with the Gray Matters blog and our co-host, Hatter from Save Awesome Studios. So, Hatter, are you ready for a hypothetical question all about monsters?
I love me some monsters.
So here's going to be the situation you're going to find yourself in. You are a monster. In this case, you've always been a monster. This isn't like you're going to be turned into a monster. Now, this can be anything that could be described as a monster. This could be kind of a classic universal monsters, Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein kind of situation. This can be more of a modern urban fantasy thing with goblins and fairies and demons. Anything that you might expect to see in a monster setting is going to be totally on the board here. Lovecraftian, everything, it's all on the table. The real caveat here is you are going to be a teenager attending high school.
That's the scariest thing you've said so far.
This is actually the low-key hidden horror of this thing is you are going to be back in high school. Now, this isn't going to be like a horrible American public school necessarily. This is a fairly nice school for monsters. You know, we assume monsters have money. Think of this as being a semi-posh private high school. So this high school is going to be full of monsters. Now it's going to be full of all the kind of monsters we talked about. There's going to be vampires. There's going to be werewolves. There's going to be zombies. There's going to be all sorts of things. Anything you can imagine is going to be there. And this is also going to be kind of following anime rules. So we're not so much trying to power game here. We're not trying to take over the world. We're trying to tell a good story. We want you to pick a character that is kind of going to be the star of your own anime, that it's going to be a story you would like to watch. So given all of that, what monster would you be to attend Monster High?
Okay, so I saw this meme earlier. I'm sorry, this is a little off subject, but it works here. I saw this meme earlier that said, anime titles then. It showed like Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z. And it's like anime titles now. That time I woke up as a cabbage in another world from alien spacers. Like just a really stupid, idiotic title. And I feel like this one is that time I got reincarnated as a monster, which I hate myself for saying that out loud, but I do have an answer.
Actually, I think we're going to say this is that time I got reincarnated as a monster and had to attend high school again. That's the hot title we're going with.
And the lunches sucked. That's in parentheses.
So what's your answer, Adder?
My answer is, and this one's going to be a little out of left field, but I'm going to go with a Nyarlathotep type character. I'm going to be an outer god type who takes on a humanoid monsteroid form, and the reason for this is because I can really just mess with people. Because, in high school, I wasn't interested in anything. Well, no, that's not true. I liked English class. I liked art. I somewhat enjoyed science classes. So, for the most part, I'd just be messing with people. And if I could take on different forms, that's something I could do really well. Plus, I could cheat a lot.
I think a Nyarlathotep, however we want to pronounce it, I don't think the appropriate pronunciation can be done with the human tongue, so we're just going to call it whatever we want. I think that's a really cool idea. For one, I really want to kind of know the story of him as the main character, where he's kind of trying to figure out, yes, he's taken on human forms before, but this is the first time he's trying to actually live a human life starting as a teenager, and I kind of want the drama of living up to his chaotic, cosmic horror nature, but also sort of struggling with being a human and being a person. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, you remember, of course, and of course I'm going to tie it back to this, everything that Alistair said in Has Been Hotel. Basically, he's there just to cause trouble and be entertained by the drama. Like, he's not necessarily even cause trouble, just he's bored, he needs something to do. I feel like that's Nyarlathotep's whole thing is he's bored, and by far the most chaos happens within schools. So he's going there just to, increase the chaos, see how long it goes before they all just riot and destroy the school, then move on to other things.
I love that answer. Now, my answer, I've thought about a lot of things. I love the Fae, I love fairies and goblins and things like that, but that's not what I'm picking for this one. My pick for this one is going to be something a little bit unconventional. I am choosing to be a lich. Anyone who's not familiar with a lich, this is basically an undead necromancer who has their heart or soul removed and put into a phylactery, which can take a bunch of different shapes. In this case, this is going to be a necromancer, a lich, who has literally taken out his heart and keeps it in a mason jar. And the entire thing is going to be that because his heart has been removed, he has more muted emotions. He's also incredibly hard to hurt unless you have access to that heart. So there's a whole drama about him constantly having to find safe places to keep his heart. Now, while he has very muted emotions, he's still trying to be a really nice guy. So he's very chill, but actually always going out of his way, trying to use his necromancy powers to help other people. I have an idea for a tremendous scene where one of the vampires gets injured and he comes just dashing into the situation going, this is my moment, to heal them with his necromancy powers. I think that would be really cool. Cue the heartwarming episode where his heart gets lost and is in danger, and all the characters have to help him find it. I think that would be a super fun, super cool character.
Yeah, I feel like if these two know each other, then the heart that got lost would probably have been hidden by my character somewhere in the school in a very obvious place that nobody thought to look, like in the top shelf of his locker or something. And yeah, everyone's just like, Nyarlathotep.
See, I really want these two characters to be in the same show because I love the idea of like everyone's really worried about his heart being missing, and it turns out no, it was just like a harmless prank by Nyarlathotep. I love that as an idea. I think their dynamic would be super cool.
Yeah, I think for the most part, because you mentioned his emotions are a little more muted, it would be like, everyone else here is so chaotic. You have done nothing chaotic, so I made that happen. Go find your phylactery. And the Nyarlathotep character would purposely mispronounce phylactery as phallus to his continued anger.
I love that. I really like the idea of these characters playing off of each other. So everyone, let us know in the comments what type of monster you would be if you had to attend Monster High. And as always, make sure that you like, follow, hit all the buttons. For us here at The Gray Matters blog and for Hatter at Save Awesome Studios, I'll make sure all the links to all the appropriate places are in the comments. And thank you once again for joining us on Hypothetical Questions with The Gray Matters blog.